Hello, this is just a quick video to get you guys started on the asynchronous work for today. We've been talking a lot about fractions, multiplying fractions, adding, subtracting, dividing fractions, and this activity is going to be a progressive activity that focuses on adding fractions when you have like denominators to start with, and then eventually what you do when you have unlike denominators. So there's two ways to get there. Go to student.desmos.com and enter the code, or I put the link right in the description to bring you to the Desmos page. I'm already logged in. You'll continue without signing in and type your name to begin. And as you can see, I have written the first problem here where it says to add these fractions. It's giving you pictures though. So this is 3/6 because there's 3 out of 6. This is 2/6 because there's 2 out of 6. They have common denominators or like denominators, so you can add them and you add the numerators. So 3/6 plus 2/6 will be 5/6. And you'll continue that same way with the others. When you have like denominators, you can add the fractions straight across the top. You do not add the denominators though. This is like saying I have 2/5 of a pizza and I get 1/5 more, so now I have 3/5. The denominator did not change. And you'll just type your answer in the answer column there. Don't worry about this second column. So there are 6 problems here with like denominators. You'll answer this question based on the last 2 screens. And they get a little bit harder, so maybe the denominators are going to be a little bit larger here. Now we have 64ths or 25ths, but they are the same, so you can add them without changing anything or coming up with equivalent fractions here. When they are not the same, you may need to change them, change one of them or possibly both of them until they are the same. So I have written that 2/3, which is the first fraction, and it looks like 1/6, that is the second fraction. And in order to add them, if I had 2/3 and 1/6, I'm thinking of what denominator could they have, where could I make them the same? If I multiply 2/3 by 2, top and bottom, I end up with 4/6, which is the same denominator as the second fraction. So by coming up with an equivalent fraction, I can add them much easier. So 4/6 plus 1/6 would give me 5/6. And you'll try that with these other two. Here, I'm going to rewrite this one. So sometimes you'll need, like in this first one, you'll need to change both. So I have 1/5 plus 1/2. And what denominator could I make both of them? One strategy is to just multiply the first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction, which that might sound confusing, but it's this number. I'm multiplying the first number by 2, and that's on the top and the bottom. And then with the 1/2, I'm going to multiply it by the denominator of the other fraction, the 1/5. So 5 is the denominator. And you'll see why I'm doing this, because when I multiply these together, I get 2. 5 times 2, 10. 2/10, okay. And then 1 times 5, 5. 2 times 5, 10. They are like denominators. Now I can add them. So I end up with 7/10. So sometimes you'll have to change both, and this is one strategy that you can use to come up with a common denominator. So try that with the other examples on this page. Also try this with a pictorial example here. And we're going to throw in some mixed numbers. Well, if we know how to add fractions with unlike denominators, and we can convert a mixed number to a fraction, then we can add mixed numbers with unlike denominators. So I think converting these to improper fractions is the easiest way to solve this. It's not the only way. I feel like it might be the easiest for you. So how do you convert the first one, 2 3/4, to an improper fraction? Well, how many fourths are in 2? There's 8 fourths. I just wrote it in fourths so that I can add the whole number and the fraction together. They need to be fourths. So it becomes kind of like a multiple step addition problem. So this becomes 11 fourths. And the other one would be, that's a 4 on the bottom, would be 3/3 plus 2/3. So that's 5/3. So really what I want to do is add 11 fourths to 5/3. I'm going to need a common denominator. 4 and 3 are not alike, so I'm going to need to make them alike. So I'll leave it there and let you guys try that with some of the other ones. There are definitely going to be harder ones coming up. These are the hardest of the challenge problems. This really shows if you have it mastered. So try these out. Do your best on it. Don't worry if you don't get through all of them. Just try your best here. And then on the last one, you're creating your own fraction addition problem. And let you guys figure that out. But basically, you're going to come up with two fractions. They can have like denominators. It would be a little bit more challenging if they had unlike denominators to add them together. So you'll come up with your own. And once you have finished slide 12, that is it for the assignment, and you're good to log off. All right, if you have any questions, ask them next time in class, and I will see you then.